This is really a generational masterpiece, and you might ask why. Okay. When it comes to the hardware, everything feels perfect about it. And this is not an ad. I'm not being sponsored by Nintendo or something. My channel is still very small for that. But of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that someday Nintendo can actually sponsor for this video. Anyways, the hardware is so nice. Like, I remember for the first time when I picked up the Switch 1, I really thought it felt like a cheap piece of hardware. But when I picked up the Switch 2, my god, everything changed. It really felt like a complete machine which was intended for pro users. A lot of people are actually putting up a lot of hate on the Nintendo Switch, and I wonder why, because a lot of people are saying this machine deserved to be called a Switch Pro, or that there are not many games on it. Well, the PS5 did not have more than 5 launch titles on launch, and that was about for a whole year. Where's all the hate on that? This machine is getting hate for no reason, and I get that from Sony fanboys, me being one myself. You don't have to support one brand only. You can always try out different games from like Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo. What matters is that you should enjoy the game, right? And one thing that really caught me off guard with the Switch was that I popped up Zelda Breath of the Wild, and man, this game just booted up. I was mind blown, because I remember when I was playing on the Switch for the first time, my first initial impressions were that, what is this garbage? Sure, the game must have been a masterpiece even then, but this just looks too, amateur, like, not so much like the polished product that I even want to play. Because at the time being, I had a PS4 and I was playing titles like the Uncharted 4 series, or spending some time with my friends on Call of Duty and much more advanced games, and I was like, the Nintendo Switch isn't really for me, so I actually ended up selling it, which a lot of people might say that was a dumb move, but in my opinion, I just went for a PS5 and I enjoyed the console generation from there on. And I didn't think that I really need a portable handheld during the time being, because I had a lot more time in my hand. And at the moment, as I'm getting more busier and busier, of course, gaming is not my primary thing to do anymore, and I have a lot more responsibilities which come from my work, and it involves a lot of traveling, and I don't really have the mindset to like sit on a computer screen or even sit in front of the TV and invest about 2 to 3 hours of just gaming. What the Switch really allows me is that I can pick this bad boy up at any time during the day, play for 30-40 minutes, and just keep it aside. That's one thing that you don't get with the PlayStation or any homegrown console, and the Switch really is for the adult user experience. So if you're someone, who doesn't really have a lot of time for video games these days but still loves video games, the Switch is the right machine for you. And if you're just gonna be one of those guys, on the internet, oh really, the Switch, did they even upgrade anything? What's so new about it? I can just play on my PS5, then be my guest. You can still play on the PS5. But the Switch is actually for a completely different audience. It's for families, it's for people who don't really, have a lot of time to invest on just, sitting there and playing video games all day, and have a really good user experience at the end of the day. And of course, don't forget one thing, Nintendo is the king of video games, and they always will be, no matter how much of a big Sony fan I am. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and many more. This machine really competes and gives a tough fight against the handhelds out there, such as the Steam Deck, or even the new ROG Ally X with Microsoft and all of that stuff. But the best thing about the Switch is that you don't have to worry about setting. You don't have to worry about, tweaking the graphical fidelity options and all of that. This thing is plug and play. You pick it up, you play, you don't have to worry about graphic settings and all that. Every game is optimized for the hardware. Because when you pick up a Windows portable gaming machine, those are not really optimized well for each game, because it uses a different hardware for all of these different handhelds. So ultimately, it just leads up to a big mess when it comes to those handhelds. And the Switch, on the other hand, is butter smooth every time. If you want to drop a like on the video, feel free to do so. And if you want to see more videos on the Switch too, definitely drop it down in the comments. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.